Tsushima, an island between China and Japan, is blessed with beautiful terrain and gorgeous vistas. From beautiful blood-kissed maple leaves to the enchanting pampas grass, from the gorgeous violets to the yellow leaves of the golden forest to the pure white snow, Tsushima has it all. And the game reflects that perfectly. The graphics of the game aren't the most advanced per se, however, the way the world is built and decorated more than makes up for it. This game uses stark colors and artistic liberties to create a world that captures the essence of Sengoku era Tsushima. The Japanese are a people that respect and observe their beautiful culture. In the game as well, we find torii gates that lead to shrines which often present some of the game's best views. We find and respect all the animals in the game. We can even follow foxes to the shrines and receive blessings from the Inari. And we find the invaders desecrating these monuments to break the spirits of the residents. And it irritates not only Jin and the NPCs, but also the players. The NPCs feel alive because when we find them, they are often engaged in some gossip. They may talk about recent bandit or Mongol raids, or talk about how some samurai secured a victory. Depending on what has happened in the game, the NPCs may be hopeful or fearful for their future. And the game has a UI that barely qualifies as one. It is so minimal, in fact, that we don't even have a minimap, and the HUD only appears when we are fighting enemies. You might wonder, how does the game guide you to your target location then? Well, the game uses the wind, and even more than that, the game uses wildlife and structures like golden birds or torii gates to guide you to interesting places near you. In the game, we follow the story of a samurai. The game starts with a samurai taking a last stand against the incoming Mongol invasion, and we see the Mongols completely outfox the samurai and kill them all. We follow Jin as he watches his fellow samurai, his fellow lords and friends, die. We see his desperate attempts to save his uncle, who has been like a father to him, fail. And we see him bitterly accept that he has to give up on his honor to save his family.
We face our enemy head-on. When we take their life, we look them in the eye with courage and respect. This is what makes us samurai. Only cowards strike from the shadows.
We watch as Jin becomes more and more comfortable with dishonorable tactics. He justifies them by claiming that they were the only way and that there would be no need for such tactics once his uncle was freed, but he continues to use them regardless. And eventually, we see him sacrifice everything he owns and his family as well to save his people. The game's primary questline is brilliant and short, allowing the player to be able to complete the game quickly. However, there are plenty of side quests available which tie into the main story, like Ishikawa's quest to correct his mistake, Masako's vow of vengeance, Kenji's attempts at change, and Yuna's tragedy. By keeping these quests optional, despite being more than good enough for the main questline, Sucker Punch was able to create an experience that doesn't feel weak at any point. And because of how well Sucker Punch has crafted these side characters, you are compelled to enjoy all of the side quests. I have played a lot of sword fighting games, and one of my biggest gripes with them has been that either the sword play is stupid, what the hell? Or the sword play is really slow. Though they have their own niches, they disgust me so much that I can't stand it. Ghost of Tsushima, however, avoids that. It is incredibly smooth, so much so that whenever I play any other game in the genre, it feels odd. The sword play is accurate and cinematic, the stances are swift to change through, and the duels are always a treat. When approaching enemies, you can either attack them stealthily or in a typical samurai fashion, perform a standoff. The stealth is lovely, but the standoff is by far the most fun way for me to play this game.
Are you cowards?
Hearing Jin call his foes cowards
Send your best warrior.
Or challenging their best soldier. Watching the players stand face to face, watching the enemy's entire body, identifying feints and slashing him when he leaves himself vulnerable. Following that up with killing all those who are foolish enough to come in rushing in. It makes you feel like a true samurai. And the ghost dance, in which the game embodies a Kurosawa aesthetic, with the screen going black and white and splashing with red whenever we slay our foes, who are then cowering in fear with a single slash, is sure to excite all. When making stealth games, most, if not all, developers are tempted to make it so that certain high-ranking enemies cannot be killed stealthily. This has always bothered me, since if I can sneak up to an enemy who is asleep and I can easily kiss him on the lips without him even realizing it, then I should also be able to slit his throat. Sucker Punch understood this complaint of mine and made it so that if you sneak up to a leader, who are the highest ranking enemies that you can find in the open world, you can stealth kill them by slaughtering them. Oh, and even during the fights, the UI is minimal. It doesn't tell you if some enemy off-screen is shooting an arrow at you, the characters tell you. The archers shout to alert their allies just before they lose an arrow, and in doing so, alert you. On the PS5, the game takes advantage of the DualSense rumble. The controller vibrates differently if you ride on stone or dirt. The adaptive triggers kick in when pulling the bowstring. And during sword combat, the sounds of metal clashing come from the controller, making those sounds more immediate. If you have a PS5, I highly recommend playing this game on it. All this, despite being cinematic and artistic, pulls you into the game almost by force. And with this masterful marriage of standoffs and sword fighting, with stealth and assassination, the game satisfies both fantasies of being a samurai and a ninja. When I first thought about making a video on this game, I thought that I would need an hour to convey my thoughts. Thankfully though, I was able to convey my thoughts and feelings within a few minutes. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that will always be my beloved due to its gameplay. That is not to say that I don't have any issues with it. One of my biggest letdowns with the game is that even if you remain honorable, the game's story doesn't reflect that. At any rate, I'm completely hooked on the IP. I can't wait to see what Sucker Punch does with Ghost of Yotei. As always, if you wish to recommend any changes or a topic that I should cover next, let me know either in the comments or in the Discord server, link in the description. I stream at Twitch too, so come find me there if you want. Link also in the description. Anyway, it's here that I say sayonara.